Prime Minister, any comments before the budget is read today? What can the people expect? As you can see, there's a large support.
People can expect a people's budget. It is a very fair budget with fiscal responsibility. And when UNC wins, everybody wins. So today I have tried in every way in this budget to make sure there is something for everyone. Some goodies and some lesser goodies, but it's a good budget. And it's going to be a very fair budget for everyone to benefit.
Madam Prime Minister, the opposition leader indicated that it would be an unrealistic budget. What's your response to that? And that the promises made won't be realized?
Many promises will be realized in today's budget. As I've said, I've tried to be fair, tried to give everybody something. The opposition leader said it's what? Unrealistic. I think she is unrealistic. The opposition leader is unrealistic. She was Minister of Planning for 5 years. What did she plan? Can she give us one plan? What did they do in 10 years? So I say they are unrealistic and not getting chained up with their negative narrative. I'm very positive today. We will have a great budget and a very, very fair budget. I thank you all. God bless.
Will there be sittings over the weekend to facilitate?
Possibly, let's see how it goes. I take one day at a time with the grace of God. One day at a time. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. When UNC wins,
Okay, what's good, everyone? It's Nigel here, Trinidad Empowerment Network. So I'm going to try and do something different today. I'm going to break down the budget as to what happened yesterday, but I'm also going to try and simplify what the budget is. What the budget is, because I feel like politicians overcomplicate a simple thing. So most people don't fully understand the national budget. Like I said, I don't want to, I'm not here to insult anyone's intelligence. But I feel like most people don't fully understand the national budget. It happens every year. And I feel like this is exactly how the politicians like it. But today, I'm going to try and break it down for you. No fancy words, no long speeches, just the truth. I'm going to try and make it as simple as I can. I myself had to do my research into this to fully understand it before I bring it to you, as I tend to do here on Trinidad Empowerment Network. So let's simplify it. Let's talk about the budget that was delivered to you yesterday, and let's try and break it down as simply or as simple as I can. A lot of what I predicted prior to the budget came through, unfortunately. So every year, as you know, the government presents a national budget every year, which is basically a plan for how they will spend the country's money and how they plan to earn that money, how they will spend the money and how they plan to earn that money. So it should really answer three basic questions, in my opinion. Three basic questions you should really ask yourself. How much money do we have? It's kind of like how much money you have in your own bank account, but this time it applies to the country. How much money does the country have? That's question number one. Question number two is, where is the money coming from? Now, as we know in Trinidad, we are not a very diverse economy, so most of the money we have in Trinidad comes from oil and gas. So where is the money coming from? It's probably a simple question, or a simple enough question to answer. And the third question is what they intend to spend that money on. And that's the budget, right? That's the yearly budget. What does the government you elected to serve you intend to spend that money on? So this year, the budget, the amount of money they put aside they have to spend is around 61.5 billion TT dollars. Yes, 61.5 billion TT dollars. But the big question is, how much of that is really for you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago? So today we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at exactly that and how that money was used for you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because that's essentially what the budget is. That money to be spent on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I think you know where this is going. So let's start Excuse me, my voice is going. So let's start with the retirement age. The retirement age. That was addressed in the budget. The retirement age is going up. The retirement age in Trinidad and Tobago is going up. Right now, you can get your NIS pension at 60 years old. But from 2028, it's going to move up to 65. 65. That means, without pointing out the obvious, you will have to work 5 more years to get the same money. 5 more years to get the same money. Obviously, it's all relevant to inflation, but you'd have to work 5 more years to get the same money. Your NIS contributions are going up. So if you're working, that means more money coming out of your paycheck. 3%. 3% from January 2026. Only a few months away. An extra 3% from January 2026, the new year. And another 3% from January 2027. Again, it doesn't take a mathematician to work out that's 6%. That's 6% cut to your income before you even see it. That's a 6% cut to your income that is coming your way. So gas prices in the budget dropped by 1%. Gas price is always popular in Trinidad. They dropped it by 1%. Yes, that's great, but let's not get too excited because electricity rates are going up. Electricity rates are going up. LPG, cooking gas, going up. And the cost of food, rent, and transport are still quite high, as you know, in Trinidad and Tobago. So that $1 is gone before you even blinked. That $1 cut in gas price, which is a popular thing to do, is gone before you can even blink. Let's talk about CPEP and URP, which have been phased out, as you know, in Trinidad. It's been phased out by the UNC. They say they will replace it with real jobs using a $500 million fund. Real jobs with $500 million fund. But no one knows what these real jobs are. No one knows how to apply for these real jobs. No one knows how much these real jobs would pay. So for the moment, at the moment, this is all talk. This is all lip service. No talk about pensions that still haven't been paid. There's thousands of people in Trinidad right now and Tobago that haven't been paid their pension. Thousands of pensioners still waiting 2 to 3 years for money they worked all their lives for. No mention of that. They say you can judge a country by how they treat its elderly. You can judge a country by how it treats its elderly. No mention of it. No crime plan mentioned. No anti-gang strategy. No community policing reform. Nothing for the youths, nothing for the youngsters caught up in crime and struggling in poverty, struggling economically, struggling for jobs, struggling for employment. Nothing mentioned about that. Nothing. No education reform. No new scholarships system. No digital plan. Just promises and promises and more promises. This is exactly what I predicted was to come in this budget. And I wasn't disappointed. I was not disappointed. Our youngsters, there's no help coming their way. Our elderly, well, the pension age is about to rise to 65. That's in line with the rest of Europe, funnily, and the West. The pension age, apparently we're living longer. The pension age is going to be 90 by the time I retire. They're calling this a budget for the people or budget of the people. But again, let's look at who really benefits from this budget. And this is where I get frustrated with all of this. Big companies big companies like BP, Shell, Massy, Ansa McAL, they are still not being taxed sufficiently in Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. They make billions of our oil and gas. Billions. I say this all the time. I feel like a stock record. They make billions of our consumer markets and we get pennies in return. Pennies in return. You, the worker, the pensioner, the small business owner, you are asked to pay more. Increase taxes. 6% increase in taxes coming your way. 6% taken out of your paycheck. We know we are living through a cost of living crisis right now. Food prices are going up. That $1 they took from your gas means nothing because they giving it with one hand and they taking with the other. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. The people who built this country are being asked to sacrifice, whilst the people who are draining this country keep getting rich. The companies who are coming into this country and stealing and taking our natural resources for pennies or paying pennies back to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, making billions and paying pennies back to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And nothing is being done about this by the powers that be. We are happy to sit back and take a few jobs here or there and allow them to get away paying the minimal amount in taxes. So now that I've broken down the budget, I want to show you what a real plan looks like, and I've already alluded to it. I want to show you what a real plan should look like in Trinidad and Tobago, one that puts the people of Trinidad and Tobago first. Some people say, oh, you're being negative all the time. Well, I'm going to give you some positivity. And I always do. You need to listen. The multinational foreign companies making money off our oil and gas is the first thing we need to deal with. Our businesses must pay. These businesses, the multinational companies must pay their fair share. I talk about this all the time. They are not paying enough for our natural resources. We must enforce a windfall tax on BP and Shell. Essentially, they have to pay more tax. You want us resources, you have to pay more. We need to make companies like Massy and Ansa McAL and other multi-billion-dollar conglomerates. We have to get them to pay taxes on real profits. No loopholes, no getting away with not paying taxes. We need to eradicate these loopholes these multi-billion dollar companies get away with. Publish a full report every year showing how much Trinidad earns from oil and gas versus how much these companies take out of the country. We need transparency. We need to know if I'm working and I have a bank account, I'm the head of my household, I need to know how much money I'm making. It's only natural. We need the same thing for the country. We need transparency. You, the people, need to know. We need to build local businesses. Use the money collected from the foreign companies to fund local businesses. Small businesses should be at the core of every economy. Every major economy in the world will tell you that small businesses drives the economy. Grants and loans for market vendors, for mechanics, for barbers, for tailors, for bakers. We need it now. Agriculture in this country. Oh my goodness, agriculture needs developing in this country. Business incubators in rural communities to help small businesses grow. It's at the core of every economy. Interest loans, interest-free loans for startups and for businesses to create real jobs is interest-free loans. That's how you generate money. That's how you regenerate money in the Caribbean, in Trinidad and Tobago. Interest-free loans from the bank. We need to reform agriculture. We need to do it now. Reform agriculture. Food prices are too high. Start growing our own again. We have the climate in Trinidad and Tobago, in the Caribbean, to grow our own. The fact that we rely on 80% of our food coming from America is a national disgrace. Fund farmers. Fund the farmers. Give them the training. Give them the tools that they need to develop for themselves. These people are not doing it. Create farm to market applications and support system. Make agriculture cool and profitable again for the youngsters to go into. If we're unable to feed the nation, who are we? If we cannot feed ourselves and we rely on America to supply us with their food, which, by the way, is full of chemicals and nonsense in it and horrible stuff in it that creates the illness we have in the Caribbean, diabetes, etc. Create our own. Do for ourselves. We know that these CPEP and URP jobs ain't coming back. We know it ain't coming back. They talk about real training and real jobs. Well, create the real jobs. Businesses, create these real jobs. Free tech, trade schools for people 16 to 25. No one wants a handout. People want to work. People want to earn their way in this life. Partner with local businesses to offer apprenticeships, jobs for the youngsters, to take them away from a life of crime. Pay students, pay them to work, apprenticeships. I mentioned that already. I'm sorry to keep repeating myself. This is frustrating. So we talk about addressing crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Where was that mentioned in the budget? Where was the talk of it? How do we address crime? We address the root cause. Fix the NIS system. Audit the NIB. Audit the NIB. Find out where the money is gone. The UNC talked about fraud. Why has no one been arrested if there's been so much fraud? Why is no one in handcuffs? Set up a task force to track missing pensions. Where is all the thousands of elderly in Trinidad and Tobago waiting to be paid? Where is that money gone? Why is no one arrested? Introduce laws to jail those who stole from the system. Why hasn't this been done? Stop asking people to wait 5 more years. Fix the mess first. Who's winning? Who feels like they're winning in Trinidad and Tobago right now? Nobody's winning. Stop this party politics nonsense. Stop this tribal nonsense, because nobody's winning. You cannot sit there, put your hands on your heart and say to yourself, I feel like I'm winning. No one's winning. This is nonsense. We're doing the wrong thing over and over again. And they say the definition of madness is doing the same thing whilst expecting a different result. So let me say it plain, finally, Trinidad and Tobago. This budget will not change your life. This budget will not change anything. This budget is not going to change anything. It will not fix your community. It's not going to fix your community. It's not going to protect your children, your kids. It's not going to stop crime. It's not going to stop crime. It will not raise your salary. It will not build a better Trinidad and Tobago. It is not going to build a better Trinidad and Tobago. It's not designed to do that. This budget is not designed to do that. It appears to me from reading and divulging this budget, it appears to me it's designed to protect the same people who've always been protected. The rich, the powerful, the connected. Rinse and repeat year on year on year. Rinse and repeat year on year on year. But guess what? Guess what? The positive thing here is we in Trinidad and Tobago do not have to accept this. You do not have to accept this. This is wrong on every level, and you do not have to accept it. You can build, or we can build our own future. We can build our own future in Trinidad and Tobago, in the Caribbean. A Trinidad and Tobago, a Caribbean where workers are respected, businesses are supported, and young people feel like they have purpose. The brain drain, they don't feel like they have to leave the Caribbean, leave Trinidad and Tobago to go elsewhere. They feel it can be productive to an economy. And I know a lot of you youngsters out there are fed up. I get messages from some of you, comments from some of you, saying that you're fed up and you just want to leave. And I understand. We have to address it. And to do that, we need to stop waiting for the government. We need to stop waiting for the government. We see what they do, whether it be the UNC or the PNM to a large extent. And if you want to see progress, we have to start holding the people you elected accountable. If you want to see progress, we have to start holding the people you elected accountable. It's not happening. It's literally not happening. So again, I'm left frustrated. I hated that I predicted the vast majority of what you saw in this budget. I predicted it. I saw it. I knew it. I knew it. Nothing. There is nothing here. There's nothing there. So, that's my take, ladies and gentlemen. That's my take. Sorry to come across shouty, or I'm frustrated by all of this, but listen, I'm going to do my best to try and and bring you the best information, the best advice as to how we can move forward in Trinidad and Tobago, how we can develop businesses, because that's why I created this network, to empower you, to create ideas and In any case, please like and subscribe and stay tuned to Trinidad Empowerment Network. I'm going to try and bring you the best information. I'm going to try and bring you the best ideas. I'm going to try and do the best I can to help where I can. I have to. I feel an obligation to. And so continue to like and subscribe to Trinidad Empowerment Network. Stay tuned. And I'll see you guys on my next video. For now, much love. God bless. Take care of each other. And I'll see you soon. Peace.